Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 88. It is Wednesday, November the 18th, 2025. I'm just going to check, is that the right date? I think it is. And I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. As I do at the beginning of every video, I send all my love and hugs and kisses to my husband Stan for writing and performing the intro song that you just heard. If you are new to my FlossTube channel, welcome. I am so glad to see you and have you here with us. And if you like what you see, I hope you will subscribe, ring the bell, share, like, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. And for all of my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and being here and being the wonderful support. I feel your love every day. I do. And so welcome back. I have a lot to share. I'm going to dive right in. You know what? It is not November 18th. I know the date today. It is November 19th because it is the fabulous Betsy Klager's birthday. And Betsy, I send love, hugs, and kisses to you on your special day. I hope it is filled with lots of stitching and lots of ice cream. So happy birthday. For life events, last weekend, we celebrated Aria's first birthday. I'll share some pictures across. The weather was not cooperative for the scheduled outdoor in the park gathering. So it was just the grandparents at Eva and David's. Stan and I went early on Saturday and we took Vince to his gymnastics class. And so it was really fun to just have some one-on-one time with Vince. And then we came back and we had a very first birthday for little Miss Aria. I did take, and I will show you her sampler, which was finished, but the frame, I didn't like the green, and so I'm still going to have to work on that. But Eva and I have kind of decided on what we want, and I will get that, or I will wait till I go over into the Bay Area and maybe run to a Michael's or something to get that frame for her. So that was that. And then right after that, the next day, was the Vintage Stitchers retreat that is held in Murphy's. And the Vintage Stitchers are a group of the Embroiderers Guild of America. And we had a fabulous retreat last year, and we had another one this year, and we are already booked for 26 and 27. So it was a small group of incredible women. I had the same table mates that I did last year, which were Deborah of Shingle Spring Stitcher, which you've seen a lot of her fabulous work, Claire, and Monica. So I wanted to just take a minute and show you some of the things that I got at the retreat really quickly. So let's see. This was a gorgeous, look at that, needle cushion, pin cushion that is made with the top of a jar and with some lace. And so I used that the whole time. This was also made by a Monica that attended, and thank you so much for that, Monica. She also had we could choose a pin to put in it. Monica, our table mate, had this beautiful little box, and inside it she had these darling little buttons and finishing supplies. There were bells, and there were some black buttons, very small black buttons. And so those will come in perfect. And thank you so much, Monica, for that. Claire brought us a beautiful bag that she had purchased when she was in Thailand. And I don't know if you can see really close up, but I mean, there is cross stitching on here. And then there was a little tin inside with, just like that you could fill up with whatever you need. And so thank you so much, Claire, for that. Deborah, she had quite the bag. So this was filled. It also had this lotion in it, which I use all the time. And there was some 46 count linen. There was a pattern, which is just the pattern, so I can't show you, by Cecilia of Heart and Hand. There was some Pirate and Robin floss. There was a little frog. Wait, let me get that out. For good luck, which is so cute. And a ring, with the fabric, with the, so this is, so there you go, and all of this. So, and then there was some thread conditioner and a little notebook, and it was just an absolutely fabulous box. So, and then from my table is so full, I'm going to have to stop and clean it off. But from the retreat group itself, when we came, the table had this fabulous stand on it. And I'm not going to try to put it together because it'll take me too long. And leaning on that was this great bag that says Stitching in Murphy's. And inside it, it had fabric and floss drops and a fully kitted with the finishing materials from Primrose Cottage Garden. And it says, this one is Stitch and Maker. And I am so excited about that. Now, I also want to say, because I thought it was unbelievably generous and kind, but when the organizers of the retreat reached out to purchase these kitted charts, fabric, from Primrose Cottage, they donated a door prize for every person at the retreat. There was only 24 of us, but I just want to thank all of you at Primrose Cottage for that very kind. They were lovely gifts, and we all enjoyed. It was very exciting to get one. So a big shout out to Primrose Cottage for all of your kindness. So I think, and this is what I got. This was my door prize, which was a lovely bag. This says, "My stitching is fed with needle and thread," from Rose Cottage. So that was the goodies we were able to eat there. They had prepared, we had a taco salad one day and then salad the next, and snacks, and it's just a wonderful time. Even though it was drivable for me and I could come home and have dinner with Stan and sleep in my own bed, I had wonderful, two whole wonderful days with some incredible women, and it was just wonderful. I have purposely saved, and I didn't bring a clean, I'm not going to get through it. The best thing for last, and Deborah, who is also a member of the For the Love of Stitches. So that's how we met. Just recognize that it's been a year, and so she brought something special for me. And if you guys remember, I showed you the beautiful chart by October House Fibers. Well, Deborah did it. This is her first drum. And it says Sarah Stitchy Spot. So what, isn't it beautiful? She did ruching. This is velvet. It had the pins. It had the doodads. And my red chair, lamp. Look at this. It's just incredible. So Deborah, thank you so much. Let's do it with this. Maybe they'll grab this as my screenshot. But thank you so much for that. And Deborah is also someone who checked in on me just about every day that Stan was in the ICU. And so she's a dear friend. And thank you so much for that. So that is the retreat. And so it was just wonderful. I look forward to next year's. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute and get this these wonderful things out of the way, and I will be right back. I'm back. The other thing I did want to mention about the retreat, last year, for those of you that have been with me, I did mention that Claire, that my table mate Claire, had brought a piece of stitching that her mother had started. Her mother passed away a little over a year ago, and and we all put stitches in it, and we had the good fortune to be able to put more stitches in it this year. So Claire, thank you for bringing that and allowing us to stitch and work towards a finish on your mother's lovely piece. So I think that means a lot to us. We were all asking if it was there so that we could continue to stitch on it. So, okay, let me look at okay, now we had a giveaway last time, which was Red Rhapsody, and I have a winner, and that is Jane Houston, 68222. 6822. I will run the card across. And Jane, if you will email me, and my email will be in the drop-down box below, and send me your address, I will get that off in the mail to you as quick as possible. It is a lovely chart, and I know that you will enjoy it. And thank you so much for watching and being a part of this FlossTube channel. Okay. Next, let's see, what are we going to do? Oh, well, let's go ahead, and since we're on giveaways, we will talk about the giveaway for next time. And I pulled some Christmas charts that I just don't think that I will be getting to. And so I've got 3 charts here that I would just like to give away as a bundle. And the first one is Jack Frost Tree Farms by Little House Needleworks. It does look like it's part of a series, and this is part 6. The next one is, this is kind of hard, but it's just gorgeous. It is Christmas Cottage by Brenda Gervais. And the third one is a Stacey Nash Merry Christmas. And that looks like that. So let's use the word holiday, and I will have run that across. So remember that you need to be over 18 so that I can ask you for your address. Please don't use words like prize, winner, giveaway, freebie, anything like that that will attract those that we would rather not be leaving comments and trying to get things and reusing them and not stitching them and enjoying them as we would. So that is holiday for those 3. And I do need to keep that to the United States because of the postage situation, if that is okay. I do plan to continue to highlight an international designer, and we will get back to that, and those will be interspersed among my FlossTube videos. So, okay, next, I have received 2 boxes from the Historical Sampler Company, and the first one is right here. Okay, this was the November cotton and twine design. This is still available. This will be available through the entire month of November. So that would be through November 30th that this can be purchased. It comes with, unfortunately, the box was fairly beat up when I got it. And so I had to take the stuff out of the beautiful packaging that they normally do. But the box comes with a candy, with a hoop, with the tea, and this gorgeous, look at this blue fabric. This is a 32 count Zweigart. And of course, the floss and a needle. So this is still available, and but you always have the option when you subscribe to go with the full box, or you can do the chart, the fabric, and the thread, or you can do just the PDF and pull your own stuff from stash. So that is the November box. And then I also received, and let me do just a little bit of reaching here. Unfortunately, this one is also out of the box because I think it's been because of the rain that we've been having. Both boxes did arrive, I mean, at different times, but both times when we were having some rain. Nothing was hurt inside the box at all. But they are going to have a winter woodland stitch-along. And this will start January 1st. And, you know, it will last for 8 weeks. And every 2 weeks, you will get a part of the chart. Now, this, I checked today. Now, I know I film on Wednesdays and I put up my videos on Fridays. But as of now, the boxes were still available. I don't imagine they will be for long, but they are still available. But you can purchase the box, or you can get the fabric, thread, and chart, or you can get a PDF of the chart and pull from stash. But with the box, oh my goodness, you get, of course, you get the fabric, the needle, and this beautiful palette. That is just gorgeous. There is a thread keeper. It's just beautiful. There is a gorgeous pair of scissors. Let's put those like that. There is a beautiful woodland ornament. Look at that. And a Nerge hoop, and this is big. I don't know. I can't do the centimeters, but it is 220 millimeters. It's a number 3 Nerge hoop. So there's that. And then this fabulous bag for holding it all, which says cross stitch is my superpower. So this is the entire box. There is a needle minder. I think mine escaped. I had the cardboard that it comes on, but I didn't have the needle minder. So anyway, so this can be purchased, is available for purchase, and if you're interested in the box, I would jump in and get that. Otherwise, you can do the thread, fabric, and chart, or just a PDF. So they are. Oh, I didn't show the most important thing. This is the chocolate that comes with the winter sal, and it is Chili Bonkers chili dark chocolate. Can't go wrong with chocolate. So those are the Historical Sample Company. I will have all of that linked below. And as I always say, it is just a joy to work with Suzanne and Joanna. They are wonderful, and the quality of their boxes and charts is fabulous. And I think they're looking forward to a wonderful 2026 with new designers. And so as we go forward with the new year. That'll be just wonderful. Okay, so let's see where I am. I did have one shout out that I wanted to do. There's been a Zoom group that I've been doing on Fridays, and I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting Abby, who is Mountain Mama Stitches, and she is just lovely. So I really encourage you to go over and say hello. Her most recent extra FlossTube is a finished parade, and it was just a joy, Abby. Thank you so much for sharing all that. So let's all go over and welcome. She's not a new brand new FlossTuber, but go over and give her a big welcome, and subscribe and like and share and do all the things that we do. So okay, now let's see where we are. I did that. I think we're ready for shares. And oh my goodness, I have some gorgeous shares, and I am very excited to share those with you. So the first one is from Marcia, and Marcia's daughter had dyed some fabric remnants, and Marcia had some freebies in her stash. So she stitched, I think, is it 2 or 3 pieces as they go across. There are 3 angels, and they were stitched in pale pink, white, and pale yellow. And there is, the names of these aren't here, so it's very hard for me, but I think she sent 3 pieces, and I will have run them across. The buttons on the Christmas tree that I will show are from her mother's sewing basket, which makes these very special. And her daughter, Alice, and the mother and the grandmother are represented with the angels. So it was a wonderful time for our mother and daughter to remember their mother and grandmother. And so thank you so much, Marcia, for sending those. Next, we have Rose from Untwist Your Stitches. That is a FlossTube, and I encourage you to all go over and take a look. And she just finished Zuka by Alessandra Adelaide, and she stitched this on a 28 count rusty with Weeks Dye Works, White Lightning. It is on a 28 count rusty. She used the Weeks Dye Work White Lightning, the broom tree, the butterscotch, and okay, let's start over. The fabric is rusty. The threads are by Weeks Dye Works, and they are White Lightning, broom tree, butterscotch, and the Gentle Arts Summer Shower. Okay, and her second piece is Autumn All Around by Glendon Place, and it was finished back in 2021. She doesn't remember the fabric that she used, but she did use the called for colors in Krynic. She finished it as a table topper, and it comes out for fall and then back out in November. Christine sent her finish of One Stitch at a Time, and it is fully finished as a project bag, which I thought was fabulous. She used a 32 count Lugana in the color Autumn with DMC and some Roxy flosses. And I'm going to stop there, and I am going to insert a picture I took at the retreat. This is Claire, that was my table mate. She also had a finish of One Stitch at a Time by Lottie Da, and she made this incredibly fabulous sewing mat with it. And so I'll have a picture of that as I was talking. But Claire, that was gorgeous. Next, we have Desiree, and she sent The Christmas Tree by Erica Michaels, which is named Oh Christmas Tree. The flag she stitched for her brother for Christmas, and the Tropic Troop is going to be made into a pillow for her sister's birthday this month. We had, again, some fabulous finishes from Anka from Germany. The first one is Reindeer Games by Brenda Gervais. These were stitched on 40 count vintage country mocha from Zweigart. The next piece is Peace and Goodwill, also by Brenda Gervais. This was stitched on a 36 count light hazelwood linen from XU Design. Winter Trio Design from Brenda Gervais was stitched on 40 count old sheep linen from XU Design. And the Prairie Schooler was book number 87, Christmas Trees 2. And this was stitched on 40 count sampler green linen from XU Design. And then Snowman in the Forecast by Brenda Gervais, stitched on 40 count linen. So what a fabulous set of pieces for inspiration for Christmas stitching. And then finally, I have from Jeannie, she finished Winsome Whale by Artful Offerings. She stitched this 2/1 on an 18 count Fortune Cookie Ada by Color and Cotton. The floss, with a floss conversion to Color and Cotton floss. The Rick Rack is Fog, and that's by Color and Cotton. She finished it into a pillow with beads and Rick Rack trim. So, oh my goodness, they're fabulous. And I absolutely love this part of my FlossTube to share this wonderful stitching and to inspire us and just for our enjoyment and love of stitching. So thank you all for sending those. And I hope that that all of you, when you finish, if you have the time, will send me your finishes by email, which is the best, and I will share them on the next scheduled FlossTube. So, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to reach behind me and just flip. I don't think it's going to make a bit of difference if I give a shadow, but since I've done that, I do want to mention that the piece above me is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. I have had that up. I had that up on my last FlossTube, but for any of you that don't recognize this, that's what it is. I don't remember the fabric. I want to say it was, I don't know, but I did use all the called for flosses. Okay, so what have we got next? I did have a finish that I will share with all of you, and that, of course, is Aria's verse sampler. I plan to put a card on the back, and it's going to say to Aria, I put your name all in caps because I'm expecting big things from you. So her mama has seen it and approved, and we'll get that framed, and it's just so sweet. This is by Anna X Stitch. I got it on Etsy, and that is Forest Friends by Anna X Stitch. I stitched it on a 32 count fabric flare on the, I think it was historic beige, but I did stitch it on the unprinted side. So when I get it in a frame, I'll snap a picture so that you can see it. So that was my finish. I ended up having no new starts. I've got them all laying out. I've got everything there, but the time just got away from me and I didn't get them started. But I did want to show, I made project bags for my table gifts, and this is the fabric that I used. So we all have one just alike. And it's going to be so much fun to be able to move my Christmas pieces into, into appropriate project bags. So this is my book of days. Let's get that where we can open it right here. And this is my stitching so far for the month of November. And I think that we are ready to jump into my whips or works in progress. And yeah, I have a few. So, okay, let's do it. All right, my first one is Red Berries by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I pulled this out because one of my friends, Deb, from the For the Love of Stitches, told me she just finished hers. And that is the Red Berries by Modern Folk Embroidery. I am stitching this on a 36 count Exceptional Eleanor by Those Missing Stitches, and her name is Lynn. For those of you that have been with me, I just fell all over myself wanting to call her Leanne the last time I mentioned. But Lynn dyes fabulous fabric under Those Missing Stitches, which is in, she has an Etsy shop for that. And this is my progress. It is coming along quite nicely. So what I did was I am trying to get the border down, and it is going to meet. I'm pretty positive because I did put a basting thread to make sure. But this is such an enjoyable, sweet stitch. So that is Red Berries by Modern Folk Embroidery. And depending on how November is kind of going, right, in December, maybe it'll be a finish this year. But it is in the project bag that I made that has the Pennsylvania Red Deer sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. So that is Red Berries. Okay. Next we have, this was my, this was a new start from last time, and that was Be Not a Dunce by Mama Loves You GB. And I started this in November for Black Sampler November. I am stitching this on a 56 count Coffee au lait by Zweigert. And I am using the Swass Surfine in the color Noir, which is black. And so I got a little more done since you've seen it last. I took the alphabet, across to almost the Q. So it's so sweet. So I'm enjoying it very much. I worked on it a little on my Red Sampler Day. It shared the day with a French Fancy, which I think is coming up next. Yes. Okay, so my red sampler that I have that I'm working on right now is a French Fancy, also by Mama Loves You GB, also being stitched on 56 count Coffee au lait, with a Swass Surfine in the color 2644. And this is my progress. So I worked on the P, but mainly I worked on, I had to do a little fudging to get this border here, which is too bad, but I don't think in the big picture you'll be able to see it. But, you know, this is coming right along. So that is a French Fancy by Mama Loves You GB. Okay. That. Next we have, oh my goodness, would you believe that 3 pieces could come up in a row with Mama Loves You GB? But this is Birds of a Feather. I have been stitching birds on Friday. And I am stitching this on a 36 count Love Letter by Color and Cotton. And I'm using the call for DMC with the colors from the back of the chart. So I pretty much worked on this fourth bird. So I got all of this in and that. So that's where I am. All of this other was in. So it was working on this bird right here. So I have been inspired by Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim, because she has this finished. So that is Birds of a Feather, circled together from Mama Loves You GB. And then next, so what I did is I switched out a little on my bird stitching, because I realized that I had started the Sweet Bird Sings by Blackbird Designs, and it is loaded with birds. So I am stitching this on a 40 count Heartland by Picture This Plus. I'm using the called for over-dyed threads, and this was a purchase for Market in 2025. So this is my progress. So I got this all the way down. I started in here. Yeah. And, and then this hadn't started down. So I worked on both borders. But isn't that just beautiful? I have seen so many truly gorgeous finishes of this into the sewing roll book. It's just gorgeous. So that is the Sweet Bird Sings by Blackbird Designs. I just saw that I left, let me make sure this gets back in here. Okay, there we go. And we'll put this back in here. Next, we have, I just had to pull this out. I just needed it. It just, that is Elizabeth Stevenson by Hands Across the Sea, the Queen of the May this year. And I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. I am using the Vicki Clayton Silks. And I started this with Alicia of Upper Meadow Design Company, who makes fabulous project bags. In fact, she made one for each of us with the panel. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? And this is my progress. So I got to work a little bit on the stuff inside. The border has met. I had previously done that. So I know I got this done and I got this started. Oh, and I put the pink flower in. So that is Elizabeth Stevenson by Hands Across the Sea. Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, it's absolutely a joy to stitch. So it wasn't, really in any kind of a rotation, or I just pulled it out because I wanted to work on it. Okay, next we have, this was what I worked on for a full day, the first day of the retreat, and that is Lit, because it was a Sunday, and I try to do Christmas stitching on Sunday, by the Artsy Housewife. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count Maple Bar by Cedar River Designs. And I'm using the called for over-dyed floss. And I got quite a bit done. So I know there's a lot of dangling threads. I worked all on the inside. So, I got a lot more of this done. I got this star in. I'm taking this across. I got another bulb in of the light bulbs. Oh, I love it. Isn't that pretty? So that's Lit by the Artsy Housewife. Another Joy to Stitch. I don't think I'll have it ready this Christmas, but that's okay because I'm enjoying stitching on it. The next piece is another of my bird stitches. Let me grab that right. Okay. And it is Mary Barton's work by Mojo Stitches. And I am stitching this on a 40 count prairie grass by Seraphim. And so what I did was, again, it got split up with the Sweet Birds things. So I worked up in here, and then I started in this flower right in here. So, and I know I took this down a little bit, but so that's Mary Barton's work. Oh, look how pretty, by Mojo Stitches. All right. And next, we have my Satsuma Street, and we discovered that the new 12 Days of Christmas ornaments by Satsuma Street, she has released some new ones. This is French Hen, and so I got quite a bit done on this. Oh, that wasn't even a dangling thread. Okay, so this is where I am. So I'll do the Eiffel Tower up in here in the head, and it's getting really close. And then there's a basket down here. But so well, you guys all know I just love these. I just love the finished project. And I will mention that Mama Loves You GB did do a FlossTube tutorial on specifically Mill Hill projects, but it could certainly be applied to these on how she puts them together. So I think it's one of her most recent tutorials. So I would take a look at that. This, again, ends up being another bird piece, but I saw a finish of this recently and just had to pull it out, and that's Summer by Blackbird Designs. And I am doing the whole three together, the summer, autumn, winter, I think is what the three are. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray by R&R. I'm using the overdyed floss. And I made a note here, it was a start for my Idaho vacation in 2023. And again, this one's getting very close to having the first one finished. So I worked over here, starting to put the flowers in. I got this strawberry, this big one, done. I think that's what I did this time. Isn't that, oh my goodness, I just love Blackbird. So that is the summer. And I'm really, really hoping I spend a little more time with Blackbird in 2026. Next we have, this is my Whipco call for November. 2 numbers were called, but I had finished Eddie and Patsy. So this is Red Deer Sampler by GGR. I'm stitching this on a 36 count 1001 Nights by XJU Designs, and I'm using the Vicki Clayton Silks. And where I worked was down there in the bottom. I'm working that center vase. I also started a flower in that bottom border that I need to finish. But let's see if we can pull this. a little bit out of the way. Okay, so there we go. I know, Mel, the deer's still not done. But that's, maybe I'll get more of it done. I think it's had 2 of its 3 days that are called for whip go, but I may give it more than 3 sessions for the month of November. So that is the Red Deer Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Okay. And of course, it's always a joy to use the Vicki Clayton silks. Oh, which reminds me, I don't know why, but there's another video that I encourage you to take a look at. And Kim, the contented needleworker, just put up a video with Renee. She's out there visiting her. Renee has a presence on Instagram. I'll try to run that across. And I always like to highlight videos that that show a friendship, and you can see their incredible friendship, and it's beautiful. So is the stitching. Trust me. So anyway, I just wanted to put in a plug for that. My next is the Primrose Cottage Autumn Quaker. And I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count Just the Ticket by Tabby Cat. And I am using the Floss by Stitchy Stuff, which is called Nutmeg. And one of you had asked, because she went to her Etsy shop and she was out, and I reached out to her. She responded immediately. Deb was just wonderful. And she was dyeing some nutmeg, and so it should be back in the shop now. And this is my progress on that. And I adore the variation. So that's Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. Okay. Next, we have my focus piece, which is the Smith Sampler, which looks like this. And I think I also worked on this at the retreat. And I'm stitching it on a 36 count cottage stone by Colored Cotton, and I'm using basically the called for silks. This was kitted up at the attic. And look what I've done. The bird is in. I have started bringing this border down, and I'm going to finish this band. Isn't that, oh, I just love it so much. So that's the Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. And it is my focus piece, so that means it gets 7 sessions a month until it is done. So I think it's a beautiful chart for us all to spend a little time with until I can get it finished. But okay, and then my next piece is my two threads a day. And again, this is incredible. I mean, I've always done 2 threads a day, but I love it. But this is Disagree by Rebel Stitcher. And I think last time, and I'm stitching it on a 40 count Ancient by Picture This Plus, and I'm using the Cottage Garden threads in the color Midnight. And yeah, here's where we are. So I think when I showed it to you last time, we were somewhere over here in this motif, and now I'm almost halfway across the bottom. Although I will tell you that there are some motifs up in here. They just don't run just along the bottom. But isn't that gorgeous with the blue in the fabric? and the blue of the threads. So this is Disagree by Rebel Stitcher. It was, again, one of my 2025 market purchases. And I just love working on it. So, wow, those were my whips. How about that? Yeah, okay. So we did that. So what do we get? Oh, I know what I had to do. Someone had requested that I kind of try to show all of the charts that I had with birds. And right off the bat, there's a couple that I didn't pull because they are started, they're works in progress. And the first one is The Humming of the Garden by Diana Bloom Designs, and that has the beautiful little hummingbird. The Pollinator Sampler by Mud Puppy Stitchery, which has a hummingbird. And so I'm counting that as a bird, one of my bird charts. So I will go through the charts that I found. And so this is About to Take Wing. And this is by Schoolhouse, 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And I think what I'm going to do is just do this right here. And I don't think I will do it on this dark of a thread. So that's one. Then I have, and this is ready to start. This is Autumn Swan by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. This was shared with me from Deborah, the Shingle Spring Stitcher. I have Birds of a Feather Needle Book by Stacy Nash. Lots of birds. Okay, I have The Christmas Swan. Oh, look at that. This is also by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. I have Little Blue Swoop by Mama Loves You JB. Mama Loves You GB. I have The Dutch Bird 1919, and this is by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I really love those colors. I have Summer Sweets Pin Keep by Scattered Seed Samplers. I also think this was gifted to me by Deborah as well. And then I know I just recently showed this, but this is Zippy's Favorite Flower by Dimples. And this was gifted to me by Mary of Mary Stitcher. I have The Bird of Paradise. And this is Leo Nora Craft. And I'm pretty sure I got this on Etsy, but it is gorgeous. I have Among the Roses by Mojo Stitches. And those right now are the ones that I found. There may be more, but I don't think there's that many more. So those are some bird stitches that I have to start. So I'm very excited about that. So that's kind of an offshoot of plans. So my plans are for the rest of November, I want to continue to work on Red Deer Sampler because that's my whip go, the Smith Sampler, which is my focus piece, and Disagree, which is my 2 threads a day. And then interspersed in that, I will do other, whatever my heart desires. One of the things I would like to pull out is Feast of Friendship, and maybe get another day on the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom for fall stitching. So I'd like to do that. And then I'm probably going to start, having a little bit of an emphasis on Christmas stitching and there could be some new starts in that, but I'll know more about that when I'm with you guys next time. So those are kind of my plans. I do have a little bit of haul, and I love to leave these things. Actually, what happened is Angie, the Tiny House Stitcher, we put together a group order to Swan Bay Fabrics, and so we could all split the shipping. And so I'm going to tear this apart, and I actually got a fat half of Eleanor's Ivory because I am stitching something on it, and I absolutely adore it. So that's Eleanor's Ivory by Swan Bay Fabrics. Thank you, Marie. And then, as most of you know, Jody of Cedar River Linen did do had 3 new colors. I got 2 of them, and then I repeated a color that I really enjoy working on. I just want to show you. It comes in these boxes, beautifully wrapped. And I got a fat half because there's a piece that I'm thinking about doing, a 40 count, and this is, I'm pretty sure, mica, and this is in 40 count. Look at that. Jody, you're a wizard. So I got the mica. This is a new color. I got a fat quarter of Albarium. You guys can see I just really love these light. And then this is the second new, and this one is sepia. So I didn't get I think it's Alpine Glow. That was one, but I have seen it on people's FlossTubes, and it is gorgeous. So I guess I'm still working just a little bit on building up my 40 count because I really enjoy it. I prefer it now, 40, 46, and 56 actually. So those were I got those, no charts, so I did really good. I do plan to start the new, I showed you the chart last time, Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery, which is the 2026. And I'm leaning towards a 40 or 46 count and I would like to try the painter's threads, which are hand-dyed 103. So that's kind of my goal there. But I'll keep you all informed on my decision. So let's recap a little. As you know, we've paused Zooms until the first of the year, or the every 2-week Zooms. I have the giveaway of the 3 Christmas charts, and the word will be holiday. And I need to keep those to US only. But I think that was all the, let me look at my notes. I do want to say, from my video last time, and I had it written down and still managed to overlook it, but I wanted to send out good thoughts, and I know we all have, for the people in Jamaica and the Bahamas that suffered, I think it was Hurricane Melissa, and all the devastation that incurred there. My heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to people all over the world that are going through extremely hard times. So that's a perfect time to, I don't really have to remind you guys, I don't feel like, about our superpowers beyond stitching, which are loving, being compassionate, having empathy, being there for each other. We're coming upon a season where, being there for each other is extremely important, because it's not always the best time for some people. So let's continue to be that force. Let's continue to make. Everything we make makes our world better, and then it will continue to ripple out. We need to stay on top of all of that. So I think I've covered everything on the table. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. You all mean the world to me. And for those of you that were new, I hope you liked what you saw, and that you'll come back. It's such a loving, supporting group. So you all know how much I love you. So I'll say goodbye until next time.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aria. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Go good.
Who's gonna blow it?
You help?
Ready?
You help?
Have some fire, Scarecrow.
Yay!